It's back! Yes, The Walking Dead has returned after its, what's it been, 2-3 month hiatus? The mid-season has, Premiere I guess we're going to call this, has returned. Remember when this mid-seasons was just, alright, there's a 2 week episode and it's back? I remember when it wasn't even mid-seasons, like, it just went straight through. You had a season, you started, you went straight through, and then you ended the season. Oh well, now they've got to intensify the drama. Anyway, yes, The Walking Dead is back with the Suicide King, which interesting title. Who is it referring to? Is it referring to the governor, or is it referring to Rick? Interesting take on this episode here. Overall, interesting, good mid-season premiere. It's always hard to classify those because I guess watching this in sequence, it's supposed to be just another episode. Like when you get to the DVD, it's not supposed to be as big as the season premiere or the season finale, which is going to be quite interesting. Really, you're starting to see the breakdown of Rick as a leadership, the inability, I think, for him to. He's just pushing everybody away. He could have a very large, very strong group, but he doesn't. Of course, the big thing, although I'm sure he's going to come back because he's just too big of a character for them to kind of like send off, is, one, I called this back when we saw the mid-season finale, that almost immediately the show's going to probably start off with them rescuing Daryl and Merle from the pit fight. You could kind of tell that from immediately, like the promo, quick like little promo flash they were showing, where they showed a smoke-filled arena there, where you were like, okay, they're using the smoke grenades, they're going to rescue them. Wasn't expecting Haley to get shot there. It certainly made you, since that was a character we actually got to know from Woodbury, it wasn't just one of the generic thugs. Although she was part of, I guess you would call the security force of Woodbury, that she was kind of killed. It does make you kind of go, well, not all of these Woodbury people are bad. Most are probably really good people. It's kind of only the top leadership that probably makes it a little bit more toxic. So it's an interesting move pulling on that. And I think that's going to weigh heavily with Andrea pointing that out. I think if she ever kind of comes back and points out, Rick, you killed a young girl who manned a wall just to defend the town. She wasn't torturing anyone. Yeah, maybe Merle and some of his cronies were doing that, but the rest of the party were being lied to, what the governor does, and you still went and kind of killed them. I guarantee there's going to be a scene like that at some point, and I want to see that scene. I want to see kind of maybe the kind of message of rejecting this type of survivalist mentality, which is what I think as kind of a story point or a theme is to kind of show the people that are like that are kind of villainous. They're villains. They're not nice people. They might survive, but at the same time, you can see how they sabotage their own survivability by doing that. The governor could probably have a much stronger defense force if he didn't, kill any strong person that would maybe threaten his survival in the town. Hence why he's taking out the National Guardsmen and such. He would probably have a much better position if he had taken in groups like that. But no, and same thing with Rick. He's pushing away. He makes a choice between Daryl and Merle. Or he makes Daryl choose, and blood thicker than water. Daryl goes with Merle. Although I guarantee at some point we're going to see them kind of come back to the prison. Either I wouldn't be surprised. I'm going to call this here that Daryl's going to probably see Woodbury kind of rallying for an attack, and is then going to be like, I have to go and help these people. I have to go help my other family. So I guarantee you'll see a moment like that. Either that, or they'll just wind up killing each other, and they'll be like, well, Merle's dead, so I guess there's no point in not going back to Rick's group. But we're seeing Rick. He pushes Tyrell's group out of the way. Nobody else in the main group knows that 2 of the members in Tyrell's group wanted to kind of kill Carol and Carl, but hey, no, they don't know that. And you had Tyrell and I forget the other girl's name. Immediately kind of step in to save that. They've got to be coming back. I can't imagine they would not. Perhaps they'll be attacked along the road. Again, they might have something else where the governor's people might attack them, shoot them on sight, and they kind of have to flee back to prisons. Like, listen, you have no choice but to accept us now because the people attacked us thinking that we were part of your group. Besides, they need more bodies, and from what I understand, that is a character from the comics as well. So I would imagine we're going to see more of them. Maybe they'll meet up with Daryl and Merle, form yet another group. But yeah, you see, he's rejecting all this strength. He's pushed all of, again, kind of with the Shane mentality. You're going to reject the group where there's strength, there's civility. There is really, at the end of the day, even though they could slow you down, the cumulative benefits tend to outweigh that. Because there'll be someone, even if they're not the one fighting on the wall, defending the perimeters and such, they'll be making food, doing all the prep stuff. It's much easier to survive. This is why human beings stopped running around the woods, killing everything in sight, and started to build civilizations. It was much more beneficial, even though it's not as easy to see. It's going in. You're looking at the liabilities when you're not necessarily seeing all the benefits. And those who take that risk do take those benefits of having a larger group. They tend to reap the rewards. And I've always thought that, at least with the television series, that was kind of the point of The Walking Dead, was to kind of point how, like, some of these more, survival out of the fit, we gotta do whatever it takes to survive types, it'll get them by a little bit, but in the end of the day, they're gonna be worse off for it. And it's those that stick together, stick to their humanity, try to maintain a civilization and decency. Those people are the ones that truly survive the apocalypse. Those are the ones that are truly the survivors, because they think of more than just themselves. So I hope they kind of get back onto that, and I think maybe they are pushing that a little bit more, with kind of showing Rick, he's doing this, but he's doing all this pushing away, but he completely breaks down when he has a complete mental breakdown when he's like deciding whether to keep Tyrell's group, and all of a sudden he sees Ghost Lori. And he kind of just loses it to the, everyone like seeing he's fucking delusional. And even Tyrell's groups, it's like, yeah, okay, we're gonna leave, no problem. Yeah, no, you guys follow this dude? Okay, bye-bye now. Yeah, because before then, they probably were, we got the impression they were kind of talking up Rick. He's the leader. He's black guy. He knows it. He's a flat-headed guy, or a cool-headed guy, I should say. Always knows to make the right move. Once he gets here, he'll decide what we're gonna do with you guys. So everyone's talking up Rick to these guys, and then Rick comes and he's completely batshit insane. They're probably going, the rest of these people are probably crazy too. We're getting out of here. I would at that point. But you can tell the rest of the group is just, for the first time, Rick's broken down and gone absolutely batshit insane in front of everybody. So I think that will permanently mar his ability to lead. When they kind of know he is crazy, when he is seeing hallucinations. As for Woodbury, fucking idiots that most of the town people are, oh my god, we've been attacked, there's people, there's savages. Surely our solution is to run out into the zombified wastelands. Really, that's your first reaction? This is what I like to call, in real life, this is like how Hollywood likes to show how people react, but in real life, at least today, you don't really see that in most actual examples of disaster and such. People are a little bit more rational. Hell, I saw that around here when Sandy struck. Most people were very orderly. Even though there's people are running from their houses at night, from the stormwater coming up, and I was among them. Literally, I have witnessed this type of disaster response type situation firsthand, and for the most part, people are rather rational about this type of stuff. Um, it doesn't happen as much. Probably one of the best examples, 9/11, when they evacuated huge sections of Lower Manhattan, people were extremely orderly. Crime in New York seemed to almost stop that day. And when people were told to leave, they just went, they left. They go, yes, it seems like a reasonable request. I'm going to go and let the authorities handle it. Unlike kind of every 70s disaster movie that showed people were too stupid to do it, let's freak out. And I don't know, maybe that's more of the psychology of that generation. I could maybe see that a little bit more. But today, it doesn't seem like that type of psychology exists as much, and I've kind of gone a little bit off track with that. So, overall, good episode, bad episode? Well, certainly with the Glenn zombie stomp, which, by the way, somebody out there, if it's not already been done and put on YouTube, has to take that footage of Glenn stomping the zombie's head to mush and play that Die Motherfucker song from Office Space. I want to see somebody find that type of... Somebody's going to make that video, or if they're not, somebody out there should make that. I probably could, actually, except I don't have the footage, so I'd have to wait till the DVD. But, anyone who's like maybe has a DVR and recording it and has a bit of a setup where they can put that song to it, put that on YouTube. Link it below. I want to see that. We're gonna start a meme, people. Actually, we're more like just adding to a meme. But yeah, that was a good scene. We got some good zombie deaths. We got that death. We got this governor just kind of like during the attack, the zombies loose, he just shoots the one zombie, like not even giving a fuck. Great, entertaining as hell. See the governor like that. He's just like on complete war footing at that point. It was interesting to see where that character will go. We'll have till next episode, I think, is when we'll see the governor really start to come back out. Like, going to war, yeah. So we'll see how that all goes. As for everything else, predictions for next episode. Like I said, I think we're going to see the governor come out and start taking more charge again after he's had his kind of, for the first time, his authority really broken. The tensions, of course, building up with Andrea after he sees her again. His big thing is anyone that's kind of a rising threat to his power, he does not like. So you have Andrea kind of becoming a leader in his absence, and is he going to start treating her as a potential enemy? And again, in the end, driving her away, or just plain killing her. Who knows? Probably not. She seems to be one of the characters that survives in the comics. But then again, the comic book creator himself has said he's changing things to make it more interesting. He looks at the comic book or the television show as a second opportunity to do the same story, but able to do things differently and kind of go, well, what if I had this character die now and not later, or what if I have this character survive, and how would I have, interesting to be able to do the same story but change things. So that's all very interesting. It's it'll be fun. It should be a fun rest of the season. I can't wait till we actually get to the full-on war setting where we get to see the actual battle for the prison. That's going to be probably quite epic. So certainly looking forward to that. Bit on the shorter side this episode. I know for most people, a review going about 15 minutes is probably considered long, but if you've been following my channel, you know this is actually a short one. I'm the guy that tends to ramble on a lot. As for the rest of any more site news, I'll probably wind up catching Die Hard sometimes next week. Next weekend, it's if at some point it's going to be kind of a pain to fit into the schedule, just because I have two jobs and it's looking extremely busy uh, on the weekend because I agreed to take other people's shifts. So it's going to be a. I'll get to it at some point during the weekend, but it's going to be a pain. We'll squeeze her in somewhere. What else? In addition to that, we've got coming up. Uh, I'm still working on watching season 2 of Game of Thrones. Although with all this fantasy talk, I'm probably going to do another Counter Monkey. Still doing that season. I like talking about it online, and I haven't got a whole lot of hits on those videos, but I do this for my own entertainment. It's just me kind of blabbling on. Might do an actual special episode of the Counter Monkey at some point. One of the people I mentioned in that series who has his other own YouTube channel, which I suggest you check out, who was a DM for a couple games. I talked to him about that. He thought it was cool. We might do an actual video together, in which case it'll actually be an actual video, with the camera and all that fun stuff. Because I really don't have a camera. Well, I mean, I have my phone. I have a Razor. Takes not the best photos or video, but I'm not going to do videos via Razor. But you might see we might at some point do that. I've got to get a day where we're both going to be at his house to do the filming, or him come over here to my house, because it tends to be half the time when we want to hang up, we hang out. It's going out to dinner with a bunch of other people. So we'll just see. We shall see. But expect some more videos along those lines. A lot of good movies coming out, and we kind of have to get through February, where they seem to have dumped a lot of okay movies. But I think there's something changing with February, but I'm going to get into that in a little while in the review. But those are things to look forward to. Please subscribe. Please like. Check out some of my other videos if you enjoyed this one. And here's to The Walking Dead and to the rest of Season 3. Hasta luego. Signing off.